Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, November 25th recap. Ridge faces horrible Carter reality will quizzes Electra about Remy. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B spoilers recap for Monday, November 25th, reveals that Ridge Forrester Torsten K told Brooke Logan Catherine Kelly Lang that her accusations about Carter Walton Lawrence St. Victor were impossible and tried to argue that she misunderstood somehow. Brooke insisted she didn't and worked to convince Ridge that she overheard Carter talking to Hope Logan Annika Noel about the LLC takeover plot. Ridge eventually got Brooke to recap how Carter and Hope were a couple now, so she explained that the lingerie was meant for Carter, not John Finnegan Tanner Novlin. After Ridge thought back to Carter defending Hope, he realized that made sense. Ridge also recalled how Carter warned him that Forrester Creations would never be the same again if he didn't reinstate Hope. Once Ridge thought back to the look on Carter's face when he questioned him about the LLC paperwork, he determined it was one of guilt and that Carter was truly trying to steal Forrester control. At the cabin on Monday's B&B episode, Hope assured Carter that he didn't have to go through with the rest of this takeover scheme if he wasn't sure. Whether they went through with it or not, Carter made positive predictions about Hope and her future. Hope praised Carter for making her feel safe and supported in a way that no other man had. As Hope and Carter stripped down for passion in front of the cabin fireplace, Ridge could be seen looking livid and determined in the CEO office. At Il Giardino, Remy Price Christian Weissman admitted he'd been keeping up with Electra Forrester Lania Grace, so that news came as a surprise. However, Remy pointed out that Electra knew how much he always cared about her. After Remy noted that Electra was very special, he said he saw online that she was working at Forrester Creations and making jewelry with Ivy Forrester Ashley Brewer. Remy wanted to make a life in Los Angeles too, so Electra hoped he indeed did. Although Electra had family in LA, she felt it was nice to see a friendly face. Remy asked if Electra had made any new friends yet, but she got a notification on her phone and had to rush back to work. Electra gave Remy a hug and said they'd have to hang out sometime, so he replied that she could count on it. Once Remy was alone, he looked at a picture of Electra on his phone and declared that she would definitely be seeing him again. In the Forrester design office, Will Spencer Crew Morrow talked to Ivy about Electra, so Ivy hinted about her niece learning to trust. It left Will thinking Electra hadn't always been able to do that, so he wondered if something bad happened before she came to LA. Will promised that he didn't want to pry and that he only wanted to help. Electra ultimately interrupted with updates on how she ran into an old friend from back home. Once Will realized it was a guy, he fished for more info and clearly hoped this wasn't an old boyfriend. Electra insisted it wasn't like that and assured Will that this was just a friend. That said, Electra clearly enjoyed seeing Remy since she guessed that you don't realize how much you miss someone until you see them again. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Remy will create plenty of troubling situations for Electra in the coming episodes, so stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful Monday, November 25th recap. Ridge faces horrible Carter reality, will quizzes Electra about Remy. The latest episode of The Bold and the Beautiful unfolded with plenty of emotional turmoil, sharp confrontations, and lingering uncertainties, all of which left viewers on the edge of their seats. With Ridge, Carter, and the whirlwind of unresolved tensions surrounding the characters, Monday's installment was a dramatic roller coaster that shifted relationships and brought new dilemmas to light. Ridge confronts his worst fears. The episode opened with Ridge Forrester in the midst of a gut-wrenching realization. For weeks, Ridge had been suspicious about his wife, Brooke Logan, and her interactions with his longtime friend and colleague, Carter Walton. As Ridge continued to dig deeper into the situation, he uncovered a disturbing truth that left him reeling. Carter, whom Ridge had always considered a trusted confidant, was entangled in a way that Ridge had never imagined emotionally and possibly romantically toward Brooke. The weight of this discovery hit Ridge like a ton of bricks. Ridge had always been the embodiment of family loyalty, and his loyalty to his loved ones was being tested in the worst way. With the reality of Carter's feelings for Brooke out in the open, Ridge felt betrayed. His anger wasn't just directed at Carter, but also at Brooke, the woman he thought he could trust above all else. Ridge confronted Carter, demanding answers. Carter, who had already been grappling with his own guilt, was caught off guard by Ridge's aggression. His reaction was a mix of regret and helplessness. "It was never supposed to happen like this," Carter explained, but Ridge, fueled by hurt and betrayal, wasn't listening. "Never supposed to happen, Carter, you're my friend. I trusted you." Ridge's voice cracked, showing a rare vulnerability. His world, which had always been based on solid foundations of family and trust, felt suddenly unstable. Carter's apology seemed insufficient to Ridge, who couldn't comprehend how things had spiraled out of control so quickly. As the confrontation escalated, it became clear that the emotional consequences of this betrayal were not just personal but also professional. With both men at the helm of Forrester Creations, the company's future now hung in the balance as Ridge pondered whether he could ever rebuild the trust he once had in Carter. Meanwhile, Brooke, unaware of the explosive fallout from her husband's discovery, was left in a precarious position. She knew that her actions with Carter had ignited something, but she hadn't anticipated the full weight of Ridge's reaction. Would Brooke and Carter be able to repair the fractures in their relationships, or would Ridge's heartbreak be the final straw? Will takes a deeper dive into Remy's past. Elsewhere, the spotlight shifted to Will Spencer, who was becoming increasingly intrigued by the mysterious Remy. Remy, the enigmatic new character, had caught Will's attention due to his cryptic past and quiet, reserved nature. Will, the sharp and observant young Spencer, wasn't the type to let a mystery slide under the radar, especially when it involved someone close to his family. Sitting in the Spencer Publications office, Will quizzed Electra, a mutual acquaintance of both he and Remy, about Remy's background. Will's questions were pointed, his curiosity evident as he tried to piece together the puzzle of Remy's life. "You've known Remy longer than anyone around here. What's his story?" Will asked, his eyes narrowing slightly. He wasn't just curious, he was probing for something more, a hidden truth that Electra might know but hadn't shared. Electra, ever the skilled diplomat, gave a vague answer, but Will wasn't buying it. "Come on, Electra. I know you know more. What's he hiding?" he pressed, his youthful determination on full display. Electra hesitated, the weight of her own secrets threatening to unravel. Remy's past was not something she was ready to expose, especially given the delicate nature of his relationships with people at Forrester Creations. But Will wasn't letting up. "What's going on with him?" Will repeated. "I know there's more to him than what he's letting on. Does he have a criminal record? Is there something dangerous in his past?" Electra's response was cautious but revealing. "Remy has a history, but it's not something he's proud of. It's complicated." She tried to skirt around the details, but Will wasn't satisfied. His mind raced, and he realized that Remy might be the key to unlocking something bigger, a scandal, a dark secret, or a connection to a threat against the Spencer family. Will's instincts were sharp, and he could sense there was a lot more to Remy than met the eye. His probing was only the beginning, and he would continue his investigation until he got to the heart of the mystery. What did Remy want, and what was his true purpose in the world of Forrester Creations and the Spencer family? The emotional toll of unspoken feelings. Meanwhile, the emotional undercurrent of the episode wasn't just about confrontations and secrets, it also focused on the strain these events were placing on the characters' personal lives. Ridge and Brooke's marriage had been built on years of love and trust, but now those pillars were crumbling. As Ridge questioned his future with Brooke, he couldn't shake the image of her with Carter, the betrayal cutting deeper than he had expected. His doubts were magnified by the uncertainty of whether this was a one-time lapse in judgment or the beginning of something more serious. Brooke, torn between her feelings for Ridge and her guilt over Carter, wrestled with what her next steps should be. Could she find a way to redeem herself in Ridge's eyes, or had she irreparably damaged their relationship? The possibility of reconciliation seemed slim as long as Ridge's anger remained so raw. However, knowing Brooke, she wouldn't give up without a fight. She would have to decide whether to follow her heart or salvage her marriage. As for Carter, he found himself in a tight spot. Having already experienced the pain of unrequited love and public humiliation in his past relationships, he was acutely aware of the repercussions of his feelings for Brooke. He had worked so hard to earn the respect of his peers and prove his worth at Forrester, but now everything was in jeopardy: his career, his friendships, and his reputation. Could he make amends with Ridge, or had he destroyed the very foundation of their friendship with these relationships hanging by a thread? The episode set the stage for further emotional fireworks, as Ridge, Brooke, Carter, and the others would have to grapple with the consequences of their actions in the coming weeks. What's next? As the tension between Ridge and Carter reached a boiling point, viewers were left wondering, can this triangle be repaired, or are the lines of loyalty and trust forever fractured? Meanwhile, Will's curiosity about Remy promises to add even more intrigue to an already volatile storyline. The stage is set for explosive revelations, personal reckonings, and dramatic confrontations in the episodes to come. The Bold and the Beautiful never fails to deliver high-stakes drama, and Monday's episode was a perfect example of the emotional intensity and intrigue that keeps viewers coming back for more. With the truth about Carter's feelings out in the open and Will's investigation into Remy only just beginning, it seems that the path forward will be fraught with tension, secrets, and the possibility of heartbreak.